Everybody, unfortunately, I not understand. Do you hear me or not? Uh, okay, let's wait 1-2 minutes, and after I will start. Today we will have our first lecture introducing in course of physiology. Okay, we will wait 1-2-3 minutes, and after I will start. Okay, let's start our lecture. Let's start our lecture, and I will teach you this course, normal physiology. My name is Anzor. Uh, some groups I will be teach on practical lessons also, and some groups will be teach another teacher. You know him, Dr. George. And we will teach our course 2 terms, 2 semesters. And the end of this semester, as I know, we haven't control like Zachot or
এক্সাম নাই কোনো
you have exam.
তো ছোট
Now about our course. What is physiology? What's study physiology? For medicine, like anatomy, physiology, one of basic course. And what study physiology? If you will compare with anatomy, human body, how study, okay, in different level of organization of our body. It's mean submolecular, subcellular level, molecular level, next level, cellular level, after tissue level, after organs level, and finally functional system level. For example, our body consists from the cells. Cells what make one function in organism, complete tissues. From different tissues consist organs. Organs what make one function in our organism, forming functional system. And we will study physiology step by step from one functional system to another functional system. Traditionally in Russian school, we start every time we start from the cardiovascular system, blood. What is cardiovascular system? Cardiovascular system, one of important our system, and consists from heart, blood vessels, and blood. Now please look on your screen. Here you can see components of blood in normal adult. But firstly, what is blood? Blood is one of liquid in our organism, what forming our internal environment. Our internal environment forming blood, lymph, interstitial fluid, and cerebrospinal fluid. Blood, one of liquid what forming our internal environment. For example, if you eat something, bite, for example, apple, and swallowing this apple, and apple go to our stomach. Inside the stomach, this apple not in our internal environment. Bodies of blood vessels only after coming into the blood. Blood, our
तुम कहना क्या चाहते हो
blood have red color. How much blood in our body? And before we will start continue to physiology. Physiology is a science what study all processes in our living organism. Yes, and object of physiology is living human organism. Methods, physiology have several main methods, and also physiology is experimental science. As experimental science, physiology have two methods of searching. First is chronicle experiment. Second is acute experiment. What difference between chronicle and acute experiment? Chronicle experiment, after chronicle experiment, our animals stay alive after finish of experiment. And we will use this animal many times after. After acute experiment, our animal will be die because we will make very big injuries of body of this organism, for example, cut tissues, remove some organs, and after animal can't be stay alive and die. If you use acute experiment for good results, we must use many animals. 50, 60, 120, 200 animals and more. In a chronicle experiment, we can use one animal many times. This is about methods of physiology. In our days, main methods bind with PC, bind with computer, and there are electrical methods, bind with electrical devices. And now let's back to our topic. As I said before, we will study physiology step by step from one functional system to another functional system and cardiovascular system. I just remember cardiovascular system consists from heart, blood vessels, and blood. And today we start from the blood. Little below we will also take another components of this system, heart and blood vessels. But it's a little bit below, little late. Now blood. Blood is red liquid part of connective tissue and consists from two parts, two fractures. Pumped elements of blood and blood plasma. Pumped elements of blood and blood plasma. How much blood in our organism? About 8% from our body weight. For example, if your body weight 100 kilo, in your body will be present 8 liters of blood. But in average, it's equal 5 liters. If you will fill by whole blood this glass tube and after put in centrifuge, special device what make very fast rotation under influence of power, what forming during this fast rotation, heavy parts of blood will be put down on bottom of this glass tube and blood will separate on two parts. These parts in up part have yellow color and this part what have red color and little buffy coat between them. This part have name formed elements of blood. This part blood plasma. Sorry. Blood plasma take 55% from whole blood. Red blood cells or formed elements of blood take 45%. Now, let's consider composition of these two parts. From what consists blood plasma? Blood plasma consists and include proteins 7%, water 91.5, and other solutes 1.5. What proteins present in our blood? If you take all blood plasma proteins like 100, 54% from them take albumins, 38 globulins, 7 fibrinogen, and all other 1%. And not only proteins, also water present in blood plasma. Most parts take water, 91.5, and other solutes only 1.5. What solutes include our blood plasma? Firstly, electrolytes like sodium, potassium, chlorine, and others, electrolytes. Next, nutrients. What is nutrients? Nutrients is food, little food molecules, what we get after digestion, and what coming into our blood and lymph after crossing the body of walls of blood vessels. These components, nutrients, if in our blood we have good percent of nutrients, we not feel hungry. If amount of nutrients we eat something. Next is gases. Gases also present in blood plasma. Next is regulatory substances. Useful in our organism and need to remove. This is composition of blood plasma. Next is formed elements of blood. And also include platelets. Platelets, how much platelets in our blood? At normal adult, 150,000 to 400,000 platelets at normal adult present in our blood. It will be less or more on these dates. It will be shown on disease. Next component is white blood cells. White blood cells. Okay, and we continue. White blood cells have this name, but not have white color. White blood cells colorless, haven't colorless. And to recognize these white blood cells under light microscope, we must firstly color it, these cells. Get a dye to color, to take color, and to recognize these cells under microscope. And all white blood cells divide on two groups, granulated and agranulated. Granulated white blood cells have little granules into cytoplasm. Agranulated haven't these granules. What we can recognize under light microscope. And there are 5 types of white blood cells. 5 types. And these 5 types divide on 2 groups, granulated and agranulated. Granulated is neutrophils, monocytes, neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. This 3 is granulated. Neutrophils is most numerous white blood cells, take about 4%, and basophils half to 1%. These 3 types of cells take a name by dye. For example, neutrophil, you can translate like these cells like love neutral dyes. Neutrophil. Neutral dyes. Neutrophils. Eosinophils like dieosine. Eosine
করনা কয় বুঝো
eosine. Next is basophils. Basophils love basic dyes. Such you can remember these three types of cells: neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. And agranulated is lymphocytes and monocytes. Lymphocytes present in our lymph have this name. Monocytes is the largest cell of our blood. Largest cell. How much white blood cells at normal are down? From 5,000 to 10,000 cells per 1 microliter. What is 1 microliter? How much 1 microliter? 1 microliter, 1 million part of liter. Very small volume. 1 million part of liter. And those we have three components in formed elements of blood: platelets, white blood cells, and last is red blood cells. You can see here red blood cells, most numerous cells in our blood at normal adult, from 4.8 to 5.4 million cells per 1 microliter. And as I said before, in our formed elements present red blood cells, white blood cells, and granulated neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, and agranulated lymphocyte and monocyte. Lymphocytes may be two types: T cells and B cells, and also NK cells, natural killers. About function of these cells we will speak below when reach topic immunity. It's very important, and these cells have very important functions, very complicated and important functions. T and B lymphocytes. T lymphocytes forming in thymus gland and have this name T. B lymphocyte forming in bone marrow. Here you can see formation of blood cells, all blood cells forming from pluripotent stem cell. From this cell forming myeloid stem cell and lymphoid stem cell. From lymphoid stem cells forming lymphocytes. From myeloid stem cells forming red blood cells, megakaryocytes, and all white blood cells. From the megakaryocytes, after forming platelets. Platelets is a fragment part of large megakaryocyte. And from reticulocyte forming red blood cell. These cells live in our organism different time. Longest life have erythrocyte. Erythrocyte live in our organism 120 days. All other cells several hours only. And now let's consider red blood cells. Red blood cells have this color, red color, because consist iron ions. Red blood cells have diameter 8 micrometers. This diameter equal diameter of tiny blood vessel capillaries. Red blood cells have a special shape, biconcave shape. Biconcave shape. This shape is very good to function of these cells. Function of red blood cell is gas exchanging. Gas exchange. This shape gets big surface, and with this big surface, very complicated to make this main function, gas exchange. Red blood cells haven't nuclei, have not nuclei. It's a adaptation mechanism because nuclei also will be take place in the volume of cell, and this place also take content of red blood cells. Red blood cells contain hemoprotein, hemoglobin, short name HB, hemoglobin. The hemoglobin is a complex protein molecule, and this molecule consists from four globules, alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 2, beta 1. Four globules, each globule have hem group. At the center of hem group located iron ion. Iron ion colored is hem in red color, hem colored. Hemoglobin in red color. Hemoglobin get red color to red blood cell, and red blood cells get red color to the blood. And our blood also tint our skin and get normal color to our skin. After die of man's skin change, color of skin change because not circulated blood, and blood not tint our skin. Erythrocyte, 280 millions of molecules in one erythrocyte, in one red blood cell. Here we can see red blood cell. Erythropoiesis coming in bone marrow, and after this erythrocyte live in our blood vessels 120 of erythrocyte. Hemoglobin, after removal of iron ions, transform into bilirubin, after into bilirubin, and from bilirubin forming bile salts in the liver. Is bile storage in gallbladder of liver and used to digestion of lipids. And on this picture you can see main types of white blood cells, neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes. Monocytes, as I said before, is the largest cell of our blood, about 14 micrometers in diameter, eosinophils and basophils. Neutrophils, you can see here, multi-lab nuclear neutrophils. Okay. Types of blood vessels, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Uh, Thank you for your um, attention. Thank you for your attention. Unfortunately, I can't feedback in this type of presentation, PPP, but it's we can't make uh, many moments from this lecture on practical lesson with my groups. And from this week, we will start our practical lesson. Please don't late on lessons. All lessons will become by timetable. We will start tomorrow. Thank you for your attention. Have a good time. Have a good day. Goodbye. Please be careful.